What it do? What it do? Welcome to another one for Al Cuerpo Boxing to the body. Let's get with it. Let's talk some boxing live in vivo. It's nice out, man. Watch out for them tiger mosquitoes, man. Tiger mosquitoes they're gangster tiger mosquitoes, you know? They're the ones with the black body and the white stripes, and they're vicious when they bite. No joke. These guys are vicious. So, anyways, damn, a lot of honeys. Um, let's talk about this whole Bernie the Boxer, because I really didn't get a chance to talk about it. I mean, I've been talking about this war between Mexico versus USA for a while, for months. And for those that know me, I've said it before. I think it's no coincidence that, when the Jaime Munguia thing arose about these extraordinary exogenous levels of testosterone, right? These unnaturally made levels of testosterone that the body makes, right? Coming from an external source. So that came out with the Mongia um, win, right? The rematch that he had over Bruno Suraji. And then you started seeing an influx of Team Reynoso, this and that, right? And by the way, other content creators have been noticing that, or they've mentioned it, right? Because pretty much it's Team Reynoso versus SNAC. And for those of you that know me, I said about more than a year ago that when the time comes for Canelo versus Crawford, you're gonna get weird things gonna happen in boxing. Fans are gonna start bringing up, I guess, the tools or what each boxer has, right? Who they're affiliated with, right? So you guys know Canelo's past, and you guys know um, Snacks past. And I'm trying to not even contextualize this. I want to try and really not contextualize this because I want to keep it more like, how would you say this? Bernie the Boxer said sellout. I think it more like treason or treachery. But then again, we're always talking about this theme of loyalty, right? And it's about, was Boots Ennis loyal to Team USA? Or more specifically, was Boots Ennis unloyal to Snack, right? For those that don't know, I mean, Boots Ennis once upon a time, and I don't even know if he's still involved with it, but it would make more sense if recently or within a year or more that Boots Ennis has been like, he's been hesitant to rejoin Snack, and there you go. So for those of you that know, that don't know, Boots was with Snack back in the day, and I've been trying to find fights where Boots was rocking the Snack logo. To be honest, on his trunks, I can't find it. The last one I saw was again when it was against was it Selden? Some cat named Selden. I think it was like a PBC event, and you could see the Snack logo on his trunks. All right. So think about that for a second, guys. Why is it that Boots hasn't been rocking a Snack logo on his trunks, or let's assume he hasn't been involved with Snack for a while, right? So, not being involved with Snack and now doing some publicity work with Canelo Alvarez, is that kind of a snack towards the Snack brand, right? To me, that's like more like being unloyal, more than these racial undertones or these smoke screens that perhaps Bernie the Boxer and others were trying to create. Think about it, guys. Bernie the Boxer, Timothy Bradley, or let's say everybody that's pro Team USA are helping to push this smokescreen so that way fans don't focus on doping, for example. Um, sorry there for a second. So that's what I really think this is about. I think this is more like, I think Team Snack affiliates are trying to get fans to not notice the context or circumstances behind performance enhancement, right? Because think about it, guys. If Jerron Boots Innocent Theory is a badass, all right, bear with me. If Jerron Boots Innocent is considered a badass, and he's helping out Canelo Alvarez, but he's not involved with SNAC. So then what does that say about SNAC's benefits? You know? Again, Danny Jacobs was using SNAC. Andrade was using SNAC. SNAC really didn't help Andrade beat Benavidez, right? SNAC didn't help Plant beat Canelo Alvarez. So then what's SNAC's real role in helping a fighter at the utmost elite level to dethrone serious threats? All right. Oh, so for example, Bam Rodriguez recently, when he fought that guy Cafu, okay, but I mean, Cafu is not a Canelo and Cafu is not a David Benavidez. Give me another one. Um, I don't even know if Benavidez is with SNAC. I think Benavidez is somewhat exclusive to Memo Heredia, right? Because I know I know Heredia and SNAC, those two don't get along. So I do know that Benavidez was doing some SNAC work. Let me read some quick stuff here. Davidu says, "Daddy, yeah, I am a pops. My son right now was just calling me, and I said, hold up, pig vomit. That's a good one, pig vomit. Can you shout out my? Can you shout out my friend? Yeah, huge Janice. He is really sick. Yeah, yeah. Careful what you eat, though. Watch out for those greasy foods. Make sure you get that colon cleanse, right? Right, Hugh. Pig vomit. That's a good one, pig vomit. And so, guys, again, I think that this whole racial theme about Bernie the Boxer saying his thing, I mean, I don't know, to be honest. I got other cats to say, no, 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 yo, cuerpo, angel. It actually is kind of throwing shade in that Boots is a brother or a brother. Boots is a brother. Team USA all day. What's he doing helping Canelo? I can see that now. When it comes to a nationalistic point of view, okay, maybe I'm agreeing with Bernie, but it seems like fans didn't kind of go that route. They just went the straight off code route from the hood. I don't even think it's that guy. I think I think Bernie and the others. It's kind of like, look, check it out. Boxing is mafioso, right? Boxing is mafioso. So if no one's innocent and everybody's doing some like shady things, well, maybe there's a sense of insecurity from the Snack brothers that they don't want Boots to disclose something to the other mafiosos of Team Reynoso. Do you guys ever think about that, guys? Think about that. What if Boots felt, what if Team Innis, what if they felt unfair with their involvement at Snack? Think about that for a second. Let's pretend that with Snack, not all athletes are equal. Maybe there's some favoritism within Snack athletes, right? Which I doubt, right? Because when you pay for a program, you would assume everything is even and equal for everybody, right? What you pay for is what you get. But let's say Team Innis, they didn't feel that way. And let's get Team Innis benefit of doubt that maybe they could be right. Maybe Team Innis felt a bit unfair. Maybe there were some other boxes that Snack was focused on. And so therefore, Boots feel like, you know what? What's up with I don't got there's no loyalty. I'm not obligated to not disclose things to the enemy, right? Because again, guys, this is Team USA versus Mexico, man, all day. Let me read some quick shout outs. Note Cesar. Notice Caesar. Can you shout out my friend Ben Dober? Yeah, I should shout out Ben Dober because over here, not everybody knows English. Yo, bend over, what up? And they won't know. And then five girls bend over, like, what's going on here? Noto Cesar. What state you in, man? I ain't in the States, man. I'm out of state. I'm in Europe. So back to the snack thing. And I'll say this about I try to join a live with this cat named Manager Marty, who I think Manager Marty, I don't know this cat, but I think he's getting a lot of heat from a lot of industry and other channels. I really don't care, to be honest. But I try to sneak into a live in one of his streams, and from what I heard, or from what I sensed, he could hear me. But then when I showed him my picture, maybe because I wasn't a brother, he didn't want to put me on the live. That's what I'm thinking. If not that, I'm sorry, but he could hear me. But when I was continuing to speak, he said, yo, Corporal, we can't hear you. Maybe he thought I would go against him or something. I don't know. I just wanted to ask him some genuine questions of what he thought about, because supposedly this cat Marty knows about the dark secrets of SNAC, or its insinuations. I mean, to be honest, I don't really care, man, because boxing is innocent, you know? Ain't no point trying to disclose that stuff. Yo, Travis McDaniel Sr., are you not a brother? No, I'm not a brother. Shout out to Travis. Hey man, I don't mean color of skin. Nah, man, I'm what do they call those guys? Those bots now. I'm those bots. Yo, sorry if this chewing this glum is crazy. Shout out to Killer 7. He says, I'm a brother. Yeah, man. Hey yo, bang brothers all day. Bang bros. We're all bros. So let me know what you guys think. Are you guys serious too? Because I notice a lot of fans they want to pretend, or they don't, maybe they don't want to really talk about snack. Let's imagine snack has no contextual negative criticism, right? Let's just pretend snack is a general brand. Okay, supplements all day. So with Boots Ennis joining Team Mexico, is that genuinely a is that generally treason, right? From Bernie's team point of view, right? I mean, I think some, like for example, I think Marty made a good point. What is Jerome Boots Ennis? What is he obligated to Team Crawford? Obviously, I mean, check it out, guys. Here's my point. I think Bernie the boxer is literally contextualizing the affiliation of Snack. As you guys can see in the thumbnail, right? Boots was once upon a time with Snack. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if he's still with Snack. But for some reason, guys, if Boots is not affiliated with Snack, or Boots might some disclose some secrets within Snack, maybe that's where the insecurity comes from Team Crawford. You know, is that the smokescreen? Is that the smokescreen? And where they don't want fans to really focus on the performance enhancements and focus more on racial, uh, how would you say, racial tones, right? Or maybe not even that. Maybe it's just Team USA versus Mexico. Let's see. Travis McDaniel. He says, okay, I read that. He says, bang bros all day. We are all men. Point blank, period. That's what's up, man. I agree. I agree 100%. And so, speaking of that, since we're all men, what's the insecurity of Boots in his being with Team Canelo? Because that's a valid question, man. Do you guys think that Team Crawford, that they're a bit insecure that Boots is with Canelo? Like, another good point. If Boots Ennis is ducking and avoiding everybody, right? Let's entertain that idea that Boots is ducking everybody, and Boots is bigger than Canelo, at least what we saw in the picture, or let's say about the same weight. If that's the case, why be worried about Boots Ennis, right? I don't know, guys. I mean, to me, it just seems like it's a smokescreen so that way fans don't focus on Snack. Why? As I said before, it's no coincidence why there was propaganda these past several months after Bruno Saraji lost in the rematch with Jaime Munguia, which, by the way, that fight with Jaime Munguia hasn't been overturned yet, guys. Isn't that a long delay for a fight not being overturned? I could have sworn the Ryan Garcia and Haney fight that was overturned quicker than Munguia versus Saraji. You guys think about that for a second. Don't you guys think the magnitude of Canelo versus Crawford is so big, man? I mean, it's USA versus Mexico. It's so big that you kind of, if in case Canelo beats Team USA, or if Mexico beats Team USA, that way we can give fans something to think about, right? Team Reynoso. So you have to create a smoke screen. And now with Boots entering Team Mexico, doesn't Boots kind of fumble that narrative that Riyadh season affiliates are trying to push? Because I doubt Riyadh season or Turkey, they don't care about any of these things about performance enhancement or PEDs. I don't think the Arabs care anything about that. But Team USA does. Don't you guys see a connection between Team USA, the Olympics, and Victor Conte once upon a time? I'd be surprised if Victor Conte is still thinking in that frequency. And that's nice, by the way, right? That's nostalgic, right? You got to have some pure and genuine nationalism, right? Patriotism, Team USA all day, right? But again, guys, boxing's the Wild West. Right now, there's a war between Trump and Mexico and ICE. It's Team USA versus Mexico. Why would boxing promotions, right? Why would they be nice in this? You got to have a little bit of grit. So what do? You create propaganda and skits, narratives about PEDs, Team Reynoso versus SNAC, right? Think about that, guys. Anybody else got more things to say? Everybody ran out when I started getting knee deep on the PEDs. So that's what I think, man. I think this is all a smokescreen. I don't think this has anything to do with Boots being a brother or non-brother. You know, let's say let's say Caleb Plant. Yeah, let's say if Caleb Plant gave Canelo some work. I think Bernie the boxer would probably still say the same thing. If Caleb Plant was doing some, because supposedly, guys, you guys know this. Caleb Plant is now cool with Canelo Alvarez. You guys know that, right? And vice versa. Canelo to Caleb Plant. What if Caleb Plant was giving some work to Canelo Alvarez? I bet you Bernie the boxer would say the same thing. Why? Snack. It's got nothing to do with the brother stuff. Yo, Mr. G edits. He says, yup, 100. Mr. G edits. Enjoy your life. You about other people's lives. It's people snack. I didn't know snack was an entity. It's like saying, why are you talking about boxing? Yo, why are you hating on gloves? What else? He says, way of the exploding fist ninja. Facts. Hell yeah, facts on facts. Facts all day. And then Mr. G Edit says, worry. Worriesel. Worriesel. It's okay, guys. It's okay. I think September 13th, we're gonna have a good fight. By the way, let me go a different segue. Let me entertain the Bud radicals. And let me entertain also the Bud fans, the real Bud fans, like me, because I'm a real Bud fan. Same thing, I'm like a real Benavides fan. I'm not a radical and crying about this. And hey, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this, guys. You want to know what the key is to beat Canelo Alvarez? All right. The key to beat Canelo Alvarez is you got to have motivation and straight of mind focus to be the first one to push Canelo to the body. That's my slogan. That's my motto for my channel. To the body all day. Who's the only boxer in the game? Could it be in Bivol? If Bivol had a rematch, could Bivol change his strategy? Let's say, yo, Bivol, I'm gonna give you an extra 5 million. I want you to please try and stop Canelo Alvarez. Don't be too defensive, Bivol. No, don't do that. Can you please? I'm gonna give you an extra 5, 10 million. Give me 30% more that you really want to stop Canelo Alvarez. So how do you do that, guys? You got to go to the body, man. All right. So let's say maybe Bud doesn't overexert himself for the first 5 or 6 rounds. Okay, conserve that energy so that way, if it does go the full 12, at least you have more in your tank. So what do we do in the first 5 rounds, or even the first three fill out rounds? Fill out rounds. Let's spear jab, hard spear jab to the body. Boom, out. Boom, out. All right. You got to shave Canelo's body for the first 4 or 5 rounds. Who's done that? How come there hasn't been any boxer? There hasn't been one boxer that's bigger than Canelo to dedicate to body shots. As a matter of fact, guys, if I'm not mistaken, Floyd Mayweather was the last guy to dedicate at least shooting body shots towards Canelo Alvarez. That was what, 2013? Let me do some quick shout outs here. I like that. Way of the Exploding Fist Ninja. Canelo 10th TKO prediction. Damn. Mr. G Edits. I'm from Japan, so I don't know English. Shout out to Mr. G Edits, man. Give me some what is that? Pogo? Fugu. Fogu? That badass puffer fish. Way of the Exploding Fist Ninja. Bud has zero ability to hit Canelo body hard, bro. So there you go. I'm not talking hooks to the body. I'm not talking close distance to the body. No, no, of course not. I agree with you. I'm talking precise, effective body jabs to the body. As a matter of fact, guys, didn't Crawford have some success with arrow to the body? If I remember correctly. All right. Strong, stiff jabs to the body on Canelo. Hey man, at the very least, hey, check it out. At the very least, you'll get points by that. You'll gain some points, and you'll be the first guy in a long time since Floyd that you are dedicating to the body. Who knows? You might get fans that'll say, damn, you know what? Bud was the first guy to really dedicate to the body, and that's what you got to do. Bud did the blueprint to at least, beat Canelo, aside from Bivol, of course, but to try and hurt Canelo. That's a hard one, guys, because I think Bivol tried to hurt Canelo too, but he needed some more mustard. When you're too far of a distance, and you're retracting fast shots, you're not really hitting some hard mustard on those shots when you're retracting too fast on the evasion. And you get that, right? You don't want to get counter clipped by Canelo. Let's see. Way of the Exploding Fist Ninja. He says no one hurt his body ever, though, Cuerpo. You're right, but I'm saying Floyd had more success against Canelo than who? Name me another fighter that went to the body like Floyd. All right. Obviously, Floyd's not heavy-handed. I mean, that was at 152. How about this, guys? Check it out. You guys gonna love this. What if Floyd was younger when he fought Canelo and Floyd was a full-fledged 168? Could Floyd have stopped Canelo, this version? You guys like that, right? Could be. You never know. For the diehard Canelo fans, sorry if you don't like to hear that, but hey, you never know, right? Size makes a difference. Yo, Way the Exploding Fist Ninja. Mayweather did use his body only guy. That's true. Then he continues, he says, you mean wind Canelo long jabs? May work, I see. Well, may work as far as points at least, right? Points. But then you know what? Check it out, Ninja. Check it out. If Canelo sees that Crawford is trying to set more traps and is trying to continue consistently with that effectiveness, if Canelo reads that and sees it, I think Canelo's gonna trick Crawford into something, a la Billy Joe Saunders, maybe. You know, Fiston just says, "Yo, Muhammad Ali did the body jabs versus Foreman. He gassed him." Yeah, that's very true. Could we compare those two physiques as far as the ratio weight? Bud and Canelo, Foreman Ali, age-wise, right? Obviously, Foreman's younger. I like that. It's not bad. It's not bad. But in this sense, though, I mean, Canelo has more. He's got more variation in his shots, and he has a different type of defense than Foreman, right? Shout out to Foreman with his post and late great cross guard, right? But I don't know, guys. I'll say that. SNAC, if you can prep up Bud Crawford with some mean power going up to 168, because you guys know I think Crawford could be a middleweight champ. But you gotta dedicate to the body, man. You gotta dedicate to the body. If I'm not mistaken, there was a shot in the Caleb Plant fight. He was able to touch Canelo in one of those shots. And To Canelo's credit, Canelo's probably one of the baddest poker faces in the game. Canelo, one of badass poker faces in the game. So is Benavidez. So is Beterbiev. Crawford. Inoue. Inoue, who gets clipped, right? Inoue gets clipped, he gets up and he gets angry. You know? Way of the Exploding Fist Ninja says, yo, Canelo is a very dangerous dude. Yeah. Yeah, we all know that. But to be fair and to be honest, I I would like to try and see Crawford attempt a strategy different than what others have done in the past. Something different. I'm talking like punch selections that we have never seen before on Canelo. I'm not interested in Crawford's repertoire of his what we've seen from Crawford from before and how he's going to implement that with Canelo. Because to be honest with you, what I've seen Crawford do in all his fights, that style and selection isn't enough to beat a Canelo Alvarez. You know, like I was saying before, I was telling my other cats. Let me read this real quick. Crawford should have took 160 Janabek fight first. He seems. I said that too. I mean, Janabek is top rank. I said that too. So how? Let's see again. More before I forget. My bad, guys. My boy's hungry. Man, my boy's always hungry, man. Dude had like 4 pepperoni slices and he's still hungry. It's like, yo, pops, I'm hungry. Like, damn, this kid eats too much. What was I saying, guys? Hey, yo, Ninja, help me out. What was I about to say? I was about to say, Ninja. Um, damn, I was about to say something nice. Oh yeah. So Canelo's techniques, guys. Crawford, uh, Porter, Main Machine, Kavalauskas. Who else, guys? You know the guy. Um, Errol Spence. No, my guys. Those guys, they don't they don't lean back. They don't lean back on shots, man. They don't do that. That's not part of their, as I call, narcissistic set of tools. Let me say that again. Canelo has narcissistic set of tools. You guys want to know why Canelo does that? Why he likes to eat shots? Because he's banking that you're going to tire out and he can take your power. All right. He's taking Kovalev jabs. He's taking Bivol jabs. Name me other big punchers. I mean, guys like Danny Jacobs. He likes that heat, guys. He likes that heat. Okay. As others are saying, as Jermel Charlo was saying, if I'm not mistaken, because shout out to Rap Star's channel, Punch Drunk, and that's another good channel. Go ahead and check out these channels. It is said that Jermel Charlo told this guy, this other content creator, Punch, the Punchy, that when he was throwing on Canelo, that being Jermel Charlo, when he was throwing on Canelo, Jermel Charlo said, "Man, I wasn't doing anything." You know? And think about it. Let's assume Jamal Charlo was talking about real hard shots that he was winging on Canelo. It could also be interpreted that he really couldn't hit Canelo clean. Or was Jamal Charlo exclusive to the times that he was touching Canelo Alvarez? I would be more worried about this over preparation in SNAC, this overtraining, this new molecular body, this scientific experiment of Bud going to 168, all of this saturated preparation at 168, in my opinion, is going to do a disservice to Bud Crawford because the body is not going to be used to that when under pressure, when gassing out. You know, you guys know this. If Crawford's really going to come to fight and he's going to try and throw a lot of shots as Bivol, who's the natural 175 pounder. This is Bivol's world, right? How is Bud gonna handle? How is Bud's heart, literally, I'm gonna say it like that. How is Bud's heart gonna handle that extra weight when you're overexhausting? Now, let's say the supplements and all that stuff from SNAC is good, right? But the body can go to a limit. It goes to a threshold in this era of of performance and this era of performance enhancement, all right? You could be doing your heart a disservice when you're overexerting, when there's too much adrenaline and you're taking firepower in return. Man, you ain't thinking right. You ain't thinking right. So what happens? The strategy, the game plan starts to fall apart, man. Like, damn, this ain't working, man. I can't even touch Canelo. I'm gassing out. And what happens? What happens, guys? Do you want to get clipped and knocked out doing some more erroneous stuff while still being gassed out? Nah. You might want to do a Jermel Charlo performance, right? And there's no knock on that. That's probably the smart thing to do. I'd probably do it, you know? I said before jokingly, I'd rather take a body shot from Canelo like that Liam Smith body punch than to take an Amir Khan type of shot. Because Amir Khan and others have said, those that are close to Amir Khan said that one shot that rattled him, he was out for more than a year, man. Like physically bad. Takes time to recover that brain damage. Just as Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley, when he got pieced up by Ruslan Provatnikov, that took time to heal, guys. So you got to be careful. That PCI, man, that force, that weight that you haven't felt before when you're getting clipped, it makes a difference. See some other stuff here. Fist Ninja, he says, yo, if Crawford pulled this win off, he will go down above Mayweather. I would agree so. But it's gotta be a badass win though. It can't be a controversial win, right? Let's agree to that. All right. Um, and then Fist Ninja says facts. Hells yeah, facts on facts. El único cocho. I always like that, cocho. Or yeah, cocho or yeah, am I saying that correctly? Will Bud's ego be the reason he doesn't make it at all? 12. Man, you guys know me. I've said it before. I think by design, probably Bomac is going to stop the fight. I'm thinking maybe 7, 8th round. I probably even said 6. But why? Because they're going to get more bags after Canelo. I'm thinking Crawford might fight Eubank. Seriously, I think Turkey Al Sheikh might want that. He might want Bud versus Eubank at Wembley. Or who knows? Yeah, probably. I'm not sure if they'll do it at Riyadh, but I think right now Turkey and Riyadh they're happy. They've controlled the boxing market, you know. So excuse me. Let me go back again to the whole snack smoke screen. For those of you that are tuning in and may not know what I was saying before, I'm thinking the reason why they industry and those affiliated with snack, the reason why they don't want fans to focus on snack, to focus on the idea of performance enhancement. And by the way, enhancement could just be purely physical, right? Strength and conditioning. What is it called? Hypoxic training, where you're focusing on oxygen levels, thresholds, right? High altitude training, which helps. In my opinion, you can get that with swimming. Usyk does that. Swimming, swimming is one of the best sports, man. Swimming is one of the best, how would you say, fitness activities to prep up in boxing because you are calibrating and measuring threshold levels, simulating a fight, right? Because the reality, guys, is when you're in heated moments, when you're drowning, right? Sink or swim, that has to do with breathing levels. You want to make sure you have consistent oxygen, effective oxygen to help out your body. If you make a slip, if you literally make a slip in that while you're going through a fight, you can easily drop down. It's all scientific, man. All right. That's the whole thing of gassing out, you know? That's why boxers are conservative sometimes. You know, they don't want to go hard because they're insecure that if they can't hit this guy, like, damn, what do I do now? If my hard shots can't hurt him, how do I recalibrate my strategy? Because I don't want to gas out by the 8th round. Boxers know this, guys. You know this. This is what you feel in sparring, depending on the level of how hard you're going, right? So I guess that's about it, man. No more comments. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. comment on the live, and I'll catch you guys on the next one for Al Cuerpo Boxing to the Body. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.